But first, let's talk about what the AI India Summit is set to witness today. The Prime Minister will be at the venue and he's going to be hosting several world leaders will officially inaugurate the Bharat AI Summit. It will be a closed-door event, not open to general public, but a lot of important conversations slated to take place at the venue the next few hours. But in the meanwhile, we need to touch upon our story. Where is India at in the global AI race? India's AI conversation is getting sharper. In fact, not too long ago, we heard from the Prime Minister on what we must do urgently to really leapfrog in the AI race. The government is pushing tech firms to move beyond traditional services and start building products even as fresh data shows India climbing the global AI rankings with strong talent depth and a growing startup base. But the gap in comparison to, let's say, US and China is still very wide, especially when it comes to funding and core technology. So is India ready to turn skills into real global platforms, or does the ecosystem still have structural hurdles to cross? Let's quickly go over to our guest joining us this morning, Priyansha Bagaria, founder and CEO of Looper AI. She'll be breaking down what the shift means for the industry. Hi, good morning. Thank you for being with us, Priyansha. We'll talk about your story in just a bit, but the big highlight of what we heard from the Prime Minister the last few hours has also been how India must become a creator, not just a consumer of foundational AI. So let's start with that. From where you sit as an AI founder, is India thinking big enough?
Yeah, so it's a very, very interesting topic. And I think the transformation that we are seeing in the AI, race in the country is phenomenal. And thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister for really, putting India in the world map across the AI journey and AI technology. So I feel the couple of things that would be really, really relevant for us to move from services to really the solution, right? Which the Prime Minister spoke about, that we really need to focus on and think about it. First is we're seeing a lot of GCC, Global Capability Centers, that's being coming to the country. A lot of big organizations across the world are setting up their Global Capability Center. Now, these centers doesn't just need to be a support system. It has to become an R&D center where, the engineers, the data scientists, all the people, they have to build on real products where they have to own the IP. It just cannot be another offshore engineering center, which is just supporting the building of the technology. That's number one, which I feel is very important. Number two is we must control the full technology stack. It has to be from chips to network to cloud. And that's, I think, a big focus right now on a huge investment around data infrastructure, right? Creating these data centers. And we know the impact of how important these data centers is going to be for the economy, for the growth of employment within the company and within the country. It is
so Priyansha, I'll ask you where we're at in that journey of establishing data centers, because that's really the heart of the India AI story and will be the core of where we're going to be in the next 10 years. But let's talk about your AI journey and what that takeaway can be for all our viewers tuned in, really wanting to understand where are we headed. Your AI journey began on a factory floor, if I'm not wrong, where quality inspection failures in your family's manufacturing business prompted you to develop AI. Do you think India's real world problems can actually become its biggest AI advantage?
Yes, completely. I come from a small town called Giridih in Jharkhand, and I was the fourth generation entrepreneur. My great grandfather started this company in 1960s. I'm very proud to say that, and the company still, we've grown tenfold from where we started. And correctly said, I was working for my dad, and I saw the problem of quality firsthand in the factory floor. And at that point of time, there was no infrastructure around to really support or to find a solution that can really, solve this problem. Or you have to pay a lot of money, and it was not, the value was not, it didn't make sense. And I never ever thought, right, that a small problem from a small town that I have noticed can really give me the opportunity to start a company in the world of AI. And from there now, I didn't just go back and solve the problem of automating quality for my dad's company, but our solution is used by some of the largest OEMs in the world, from Boeing, from Toyota, from Daimler. So
Wow.
a girl from a small town who could just, see a problem in her day-to-day work, in her real life, can actually build a company around it, and not just serve, her can go back and solve the problem for her own company, then can help the biggest companies in the world. And that's like the power that
Yeah.
I feel we have today, the creativity, the idea, because the idea can be, it can be even a small thing which you see in your day-to-day life. It doesn't need to be, everybody doesn't need to be the nuclear scientist, right? We are like, not every problem cannot be that big. It has to be about identifying those small
And
problems.
that's why so much importance, don't you think, has been given to startups in our country and how they're contributing to this one domain and where it'll take us in the next 5 years too. Priyansha, what I want to understand is, because you've picked on one small model and you've kind of tried to ace that, it's being replicated, you've given us, some of your largest clients. But does India, and if we zoom out a little, does India need to build one large general AI model or thousands of domain-specific foundational models across different sectors like manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture? We're seeing these domain-specific models now come up. But is that going to really get us to the point wherein we're called an AI superpower? Or we need, a broader AI model which takes care of everything?
I think what we have to really focus on is India should build its own AI brain. And if we are just going to use the foreign models, that's like really built on, I mean, if I'll give you an example, when I build a model for a customer, and I cannot use just an off-the-shelf GPT model that's going to solve all the manufacturing problems. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So the best way is to, if the best way is to really scale around this is that across agriculture, right? Like when you build a model, it has to be based on the context around the industry. It just cannot be a generic model that can solve all the problems. So I feel
So would you say the likes of Sarvam AI or AI for Bharat, that are building generative AI for Indian languages, is a case in point? That's what should be replicated pan sectors. So India building its own digital brains by picking on some of these advantages it has in different sectors. You think that's how we should be taking it forward?
I completely believe on that, because I feel like the power, because what works for us, like what is really the context is the biggest thing. When you talk about any AI, if you don't define, right, like what the surrounding is,
Yeah.
what you're looking for, if you don't define it well, the system is not going to work. And I think we have so much of data that we have been generating for years, and we have not been utilizing it. So we really try to emphasize and focus on a specific industry and try to bring a change in that itself will be huge. Like just building products for specific industry rather than going about generic thing. And I feel with this whole AI infrastructure play, the best thing is when we have this whole compute play, right? When we go all out with our data centers GPU play. Now it doesn't matter if a company in Bangalore is trying to build something versus a company in Coimbatore. This would give an equal opportunity for everybody, no matter where you are. Even when you are in Girirdi, you still have access to these highly specialized compute infrastructure to build any kind of AI models, to build any kind of company you want. You just need a really good idea, and you need to understand, the industry well, and then you can do anything, right? I think
the one thing we keep hearing is now we're looking at the numbers, an uptick in the numbers. We're seeing us embrace technology in a way that we're taking that story forward. We're realizing that, okay, AI must be taking a lot of jobs away, but we need to turn it around to our advantage. But there are still resources that Indian startups don't have access to. Let's say like startups in the Silicon Valley or China, for instance, have access to. So where do you think is that missing piece? India has scale, data, talent, but what's the single biggest missing piece preventing India from becoming an AI superpower in today's day and age?
So I feel there's been a lot of money that is flowing in India, startup ecosystem. I wouldn't say that, like that the money is not there. Money is there, but again, a lot of startups out there today, it's not just about coming up with an idea and then just starting over. I mean, you really need to spend time to build on it, to really prove that it is a scalable idea. It's an idea that can really work, right? Like, so, and that's something that I think even when I started the company, I didn't go out and raise money day one. I basically bootstrapped it for a year. I worked on my idea. I closed 2 customers, and that's when I got my first money because I validated my idea. Like, it's just, I feel there has to be an effort that needs to be done upfront around having like a viable MVP. We call it minimum viable product. You need to build that. You need to get it tested. And then after that, I mean, if there is attraction, I don't see really why you won't be able to raise money. I mean, I have done that when I really didn't know anybody in the industry. But if you really believe in your idea, if you have a really, really good product,
Yeah.
you will find right people to come and support you in your journey.
And you know, the Prime Minister remarked that the tech sector in the country must be the one spearheading this one AI challenge which has been thrown at the world and kind of turn it into an advantage. But thank you so much, Priyanshu, for joining us this morning, telling us all about your story and really taking us through what you think India needs to do right the next few years.